Hi Taurus, welcome to your monthly readings. As always, keep in mind that this is only a general reading. Always take what feels right and with what does resonate within your own life experiences during this time. And if you would like a personal reading with me, please contact me through the email I put in the description box below. For the month of March, I'm offering a special focus on the unconscious awareness. So it's a reading that focuses on bringing messages and insights upon what you may be unconscious about and what may be causing some of the energetic experiences in your life during this time. So if you would like to know more info about that, just email me. Or if you would like to donate and support my channel, you can also do so by following the PayPal link, which is down below, and as well my Facebook and Instagram page. So Taurus, I feel like there's a real sense of intellectual thirst and power, kind of gravitating towards the direction in which you are being called to go during the month is to develop some of those real strong powers you have in your mind, which means that March can bring to Taurus a lot of ideas, a lot of thoughts, a lot of capacity to, through the power of their minds, to deal with situations, to make choices, decisions, and to have, through communication, a lot of how can I say, it's like some of you, through your speech and through your thoughts, you're able to pierce through anything that is obscure or occult, which means that some of you have a lot of doubts, but at the same time, through those doubts and what's being reflected back to you, your mind can kind of bring itself together. It's like like your mind is like this pieces of the puzzle that are coming together through the own questions you make. I don't know if I'm making sense. This can be a little hard to understand. The point is that you're finding a lot of solutions through building that and strengthening that power you have, which could be a lot of it coming through curiosities you have, interests you have, studies or something you're studying, something you want to study, reading and writing and speaking. Everything that deals with the mind is in focus, is strongly in focus. I feel like some of you want to be free from something that is emotionally extremely difficult to feel free from. So there are some emotional prisons that Taurus here are kind of dealing with during the month of March. But at the same time that those emotional prisons are present, which means that a lot of you are trying to be free from fear. Fear is like projections of old issues coming to the front and blocking you. Some of you want to be free from fear, which means that some of you are trying to really find solutions to something you may deal with, like a trauma, a paranoia, a condition, something that is psychologically and emotionally draining you. And it's like something that you identify as being your main obstacle during this time, or something that is keeping you back from achieving happiness or some goals you may have, something that is keeping you prisoner in, or something that is keeping you from reaching the potential you truly have. So it's a very interesting energy that I'm sensing here for Taurus during March. Is it's a month where it can be very interesting in terms of psyche, in terms of your psyche, in terms of understanding that psyche, your unconscious self, and in terms of understanding yourself emotionally and psychologically, in terms of therapy. Maybe some of you are feeling the need to reach a therapist, a counselor, a doctor, someone specialized in a condition, as I said, that some of you may be having. Some of you feel just that for other Taurus that are not in this group, some Taurus that I'm being shown here have a lot of irrational responses to their lives and the reality around them, which means that and you are aware of this because the moon is in the conscious position, so you are aware of the inner depths. You are aware of your shadows more than usual during the month of March. And some of you, this moon in the conscious position is bringing to you a certain notion that there are things in your reality that are weird, obscure, confusing, just something doesn't add up. I feel like some of you have this mystery to solve, and this is the month where your mind is really in that in that point of gathering clues, gathering evidence, gathering all the info you can to make sense of something that is troubling you. Like there's just sense like missing pieces in some of you lives. Is like things that don't make sense. I feel like some of you are trying to build yourselves up, and I feel like your mind is both a challenge here and the weapon to make you reach what you need to reach during this time to empower you. Because what I'm being shown here is that you will be able to cut the cord with something that is making you feel like this. This is the Eight of Swords. So this is the Mermaid Beautiful deck that I'm using for March readings, and the ones as well that I'm using for the special reading of the month, because it has this very Piscean theme to it, and it touches on issues of the unconscious and of things that are kind of buried from our conscious awareness. So this is a very beautiful deck that I'm using, and this Eight of Swords in your unconscious position, as I said, there are things that are barriers that you feel in your behavior or in your life, things that feel like a break when you're trying to move forward, or that feel like that make you feel like powerless or a victim of circumstances, things of those tones. It's like you are working here on being free, or cutting the cord, as I said, with some patterns that can go way back from what you are able to remember or to know about your personal story, which means that Taurus here have something that may have been or is the reason why they keep bumping into the same difficulties. The answer to it can be way back. It can be way back than what your memory can track. It means that for some of you, the trauma or the conditioning was made or internalized in such a young age, or in such a condition that you completely disconnected the memory from your conscious self. And so, as I said, there's a lot of things that you don't find easy to make sense of, and some of it could even be about yourself, your life, and who you are. There are things here that I feel like you may have those questions like, I know that there's something wrong with me or something that's not right, but I just don't know what it is. Or I don't know why I keep acting this way if in reality what I want is this other thing. There can be plenty here of scenarios, but I'm feeling like the majority of you will need to really confront something or remember something, rescue a part of your memory, a part of your past that is missing but important to solve the mystery or solve what is throwing you out of balance and freedom. Because what I feel is that some of you won't feel free, you won't feel you know, the sunny side of life until you solve the moon, until you solve whatever this emotional and psychological, situation is, until you really learn about some shadow, some part of your inside that is hidden. There are hidden things that you're meant to know about your own self, about your power, your voice, your talent, your the change you want to bring the change you want to bring in your life, and the reason why certain things occur to some of you Taurus. There's a lot of it that it's inside of you. There's a lot of it that you're meant to rescue, a part of you that you're meant to bring to the surface. And I feel, being the Ace of Swords here, your future card, as the month progresses, there's something here. This is a very clarifying card, which is great to see when you have the Moon and the Eight of Swords, that clarification will come. So for some of you suffering in the beginning of the month with, the weight of this situation, or just feeling paralyzed on a situation that is bringing you anxiety or fear, know that things will get cleared and you will be given the opportunity and the tool you need to clear out of the way your challenge, your enemies, your fears, anything that is holding you back. Because the Ace of Swords in the future position, and also having the Knave of Swords in the soul, which is the Page of Swords in the soul, means that you are very alert and very aware of, thoughts during the month of March. Sometimes to a point where they can paralyze you, they can enslave you, yes. But once you learn how to use that in the other way, which is to use that as a force, as I said, a tool to empower you in your life, once you understand how thoughts do create reality and how they matter in the creation of reality you want, you will be able to free yourself from something and actually win something from the skill you may be discovering during this month. I also feel like some of you may be just, there's a lot of communication during the month. You may be more into making questions than usual, or asked more questions than usual. You may receive more emails, emails, phone calls, messages of all sorts may be coming to you, and you may as well be sending them. There's a lot of, it's like waves of communication are very important to Taurus during the month of March. I do feel like some of you will be able to find the answers you need in a certain way, and actually I feel like your eye is on point. So you are, it's like you are observing and seeing things and getting information, maybe without even realizing, but you are getting it so much, so much, so much that it's like, as the more you gather those information and from the power of observation, your mind is kind of building itself to a new level. Some of you are very smart, and some of you have here some academic brilliance, which means that for Taurus, in college, or taking some type of course, your intelligence is on focus, and I feel like you're standing out. Your ideas are standing out, your thoughts are standing out, your intelligence, as I said. So it's not a time to shy away from Taurus that like to express themselves or need to express themselves. This is the time to do so, because your thoughts and your ideas have a lot of power, and they can, as I said, be very powerful. And when you say something, the power it holds to affect people, it's strong, which means that, as I said, responsibility, using your power with responsibility, because it's great. And words and thoughts are weapons that can be as well lethal or of a healing nature. So I hope you have a great month. Thank you so much for all of you that have been liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, and donating to my channel. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And hopefully we'll see each other soon.